Welcome back to another gold making video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to flip materials on the new region-wide auction house. Now this can be very profitable and you can make a whole heap of gold by doing this, so let's get into it. And before we get into it, if you'd like to learn 4 other methods on how to flip in retail and also Wrath of the Lich King Classic flipping, you can find all of that inside of my flipping guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. But for the add-ons, you're going to need Auctionator, Point Blank Sniper, and TSM to do this the most efficiently. So Auctionator and TSM, they're basically just auction house add-ons, and Point Blank Sniper is basically a sniper add-on for the auction house where you can snipe cheap items and set a percent of how much the market is actually worth, and then it will give you all the items, will show you all the items that are under the percent you set it to. You make the groups with Auctionator and you pair that with Point Blank Sniper, and you can set up the Point Blank Sniper just like this. Now all of these groups that have the materials and stuff I recommend flipping and sniping is all inside of my flipping guide, so you can find all of them inside the flipping guide. But basically how this works is that you can play around with the percentages and the numbers, but basically we set a certain percent on our sniper tool. So for an example, we're using 80% of the DB market, so our realm's market price, and then what we're doing is we're selling them for 85% or higher, because you've got to take into consideration the auction house takes a 5% cut, so that is why we're going to 85%, so from 80 to 85%. Anything under 80 we're buying, and then we're always selling them for 80% or higher. Some can go like up to like 500%, it all depends on the market, but all these items sell fairly quick. So the main aim for this sort of flipping is turnover. So you basically want to be buying as many items as possible that have a good sell rate that you know you can sell. You constantly keep buying them under a certain percent. We're using 80% for an example. We buy every single one of the items that are listed below the 80% market value. We buy all of those up, and then we simply repost them for 85% or higher of the market value. And now the items that are higher than the 85% you make profit on, and they sell extremely quick. It's very easy to do. So what you do with the Point Blank Sniper, you basically buy out all the items. If you're using the groups from the flipping guide, use materials, the group called materials, you can buy out all of these items and you can set it to whatever percent you want. Just make sure when you're selling, setting the percent, you need to also make the percent that you want to sell it for in TSM operations. You need to make that the right price. So if you're going to change the percent on the sniper tool, you also need to make the TSM selling operation like 5% less, 5% more than what your sniping percent is set at. If that doesn't make sense, in my flipping guide I go over and teach you in depth a step-by-step way to actually learn it and to figure out how it works, so you know what's going on. But basically we've got all the items, the groups of items that I recommend flipping. You can simply do the sniper tool, buy them all up, and then you can simply sell them with TSM using the auctioning operations. And then once you have them posted, obviously you're going to get undercut quite a bit. So what you can do is simply use the TSM cancelling scan, and you can cancel all the ones you've been undercut on. And then another thing, I like to set it so if the item drops below the say we're buying at 80% and we're selling at 85%. Now if the items that we're selling go below the 85%, I have it set so it won't actually post those items. It'll just keep them in your inventory, and you can keep them there until the price does go back over that 85% of the market value, and then TSM will obviously let it post them for you when you actually do a posting scan. So very simple. Basically, to sum it up, we're buying all the materials inside of the handpicked groups I have under 80% of the DB market value, and then we're reselling them for 85% plus of the DB market value. So very simple. You just need to know what items to actually have, and once you've got the add-ons all set up and everything rolling, this is a very easy way to make a whole heap of gold. What I like to do is just run a have this on my second account and just do this constantly every 15 minutes or so, do a cancel scan and repost the items. Super simple. So if you want to learn how to do this flipping method and 4 other flipping methods, you can find all of that inside of my flipping guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box below this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe for more daily gold content.